The Abercrombie Kids Summer Sale is in full swing, with up to 50% off select styles for the season. Summer plans, vacation, and camp days are all covered, with new dresses, shorts, tees, and swim. Abercrombie Kids has the summer staples they need and the looks that they want to wear. Shop in-store, online, or in the app. Offer applies to select styles as indicated. Discount applied at checkout online.
This is the way it feels to move through summer in Lululemon. Iconic Align softness without the front seam. For our smoothest look and feel ever, summer won't know what hit it. Stretch your limits in the non-stop flexibility of the new Lululemon Align No-Line Pant in select stores and at Lululemon.com.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to talk about Locarno and Venice?
Oh, well, bring it up, right?
Sure. This would be the place to do it.
Well, I think I forgot last week to mention that Venice had announced its opening night film, which is the new Paolo Sorrentino film, which I think I used to be. When I was first introduced to Paolo Sorrentino, I was excited.
It makes me think of Mira Sorvino.
Nope, different. I mean, Italian, yes, but different. Different altogether. Well, Mira's dad was Paul Sorvino, who died relatively recently. Yeah, Paolo Sorrentino's new movie with Tony Servillo, which, fine. Sorrentino was with The Hand of God, which won a major prize, which felt like a lot of Sorrentino's films tend to feel like Fellini ripoffs. But, back when I first saw The Great Beauty at the first Cannes Film Festival I went to, which I made you watch, we had friends over to watch that movie. I still am a big fan of that one. His last one, Parthenope, which just came out on Netflix. I also saw that at Cannes. He feels like he's turning into one of those old Italian directors that just likes to ogle beautiful young women, and that gets boring quite quickly. Anyway, he's opening Venice. Apparently, the rest of the lineup is going to be announced July 22nd, which is coming up fast. I did see a rumor this morning that the new P.T. Anderson film, which is relatable to what we'll speak about later in this podcast, apparently that Warner Brothers is going to bypass the Venice Film Festival because they are unsure of how they feel about it due to test screenings, and they want to avoid a debacle like last year with Joker Folie à Deux, because Warner Brothers was very upset with how that went down. But it's so stupid because the first Joker won the Venice Film Festival, so of course if you were invited to go again, you would put it there. So you couldn't help that it was trash.
God.
I mean, I know that movie has its fans, some quite notable ones, including Tarantino, but I still maintain I strongly dislike that film. Anyhow, Locarno, which I went to for the first time last year, and I'm actually kind of waiting to see if they're going to invite me back again, because it's expensive going to Switzerland. So I would be more motivated to go if they ask me to. But Radu Jude's new film, Dracula, a version of that, is going to be there, as well as the new Alexander Koberides film, which I'm excited for. And very controversially, the new Abdelatif Kashish, the long-awaited final chapter of his trilogy, Mektub, My Love, is going to finally premiere at this festival. So that will likely generate a lot of attention. The thing is, if I had never been to Cannes in 2019, I never would have had the chance to see the second part of that, because they've never been released anywhere, although I hear some bootleg versions are out there. But yeah, anyway.
Thank you for that. I saw a post about, this is dumb, but I thought it was kind of funny. So the headline was, "This man swiped right 2 million times on Tinder over 5 years and only managed to get one date."
Swiping right is you like.
Yes.
Okay.
So this man's name is Hayden. He's 26. He looks like a regular guy, 26-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that means, so for him to have swiped right 2 million times in 5 years, that means that he had to swipe 1,000 times daily. And so then he had posted like the statistics, and it looks like the average, like daily, the average woman on Tinder swipes 200 times. The average man swipes 137 times. This man swiped nearly 2,000 times.
Well, maybe people were seeing the red flags. Jesus Christ.
Well,
well, obviously hetero. I mean,
the other thing is for him to swipe that much. So then they also rate pickiness. Okay. So women only swipe right on 7% of the people who they see. And then men generally swipe about 40%.
Oh, yeah.
This man swiped damn near 100%, obviously, to swipe that many people.
That'll do. Well, that's the thing. He's probably not even discerning at that point.
Well, no, but I mean, but really what it is it's not so much who he's swiping on. It's that the fact that he has made himself available to everyone and still only got one date in 5 years. Well, that means that people aren't interested in his profile. So then his profile, he looks like,
things that are made for everyone end up being for no one because nobody wants it. You can't be. You can't be for everybody.
I don't know who. Well, no. The point is that if, like, you're statistically your odds are less if you don't, like, if he's not swiping right on people, then there may be people out there who might be interested in him who don't get the chance to connect. Mm-hmm. But in his instance, he's made himself open to everyone and still is not getting connections. So then the question is like, well, what is he doing wrong? And he looks like a regular, like, guy. Like, there's nothing off-putting about him.
He's just boring.
Well, so then his profile, I haven't been on Tinder, but I'm assuming this is like the first statement that people see. And it's him. It looks like maybe he's in like Alaska wearing camo, holding a big fish he caught. And then his bio says, if you're not trying to go fishing, I don't want it. My idea of a vacation is going to the desert and looking for snakes for a week. I may or may not currently own 33 snakes. So then I thought, well,
I mean, that's a very, I think, a specific type of woman.
Well, this caught my attention based on what I said last week, which is that talking about, because, the Griddle Cafe sparked this thought in my head of couples not being, like, sometimes people aren't very mindful of, like, are you, like, would your other person be impressed by you, proud of you, want to, like, bring you anywhere? And I just think, like, oh, this guy seems like he's not, his profile reads more like he's like talking to his buddies.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not very mindful. Like, do you think that a lady wants to,
that's what you do on your bro vacations that you go on?
Yeah, like, I don't think this lady, like, she's imagining you dressed like this, holding this big fish, so, like, you might smell bad, and, like, you like I mean, I'm sure I know there's a very popular lady on social media who lives in the, like,
of course there are women that are probably into that, but
but she lives in, like, Palm Springs, and her thing is she catches snakes to relocate them instead of having them be killed. So,
sure.
There are, like you said, there are people who would want to fish and catch snakes, but it's just like,
that's also something maybe you don't lead with so strongly either.
Well, because the vibe is that you only like to do what you like to do.
Yes.
It's very specific, and, like, you're not going to want to go get a glass of wine or sit and listen to jazz.
You're not going to want to chill. You're not going to want to work the job that you need to work to pay for the vacations that allow you to go do that shit.
Wait, what? Well, I'm not saying that he doesn't want to work. I'm just saying that he comes across like someone who is very much like, if I'm not doing what I want to do, then, like, I'm not a pleasure to be around. So clearly that energy is what, like, 2 million. What did I say? How many? 2 million? Yeah.
Repellent. He's repellent.
Yeah. So
God, there's a lot of people on Tinder. Jesus.
That leads me to my next. I just sent you something on Instagram. Have you seen this post before? This man went viral for posting like his birthday picture saying that he's 22. Do you see it?
Yeah.
And so, of course, everyone clowned his ass. Like, you are holding those balloons upside down.
Was this in the year 2022? Is that what it means? Because
well, he doesn't even look. He looks like he could be in his 50s. But and I've tried to find out like who is this man. This has to be a joke.
He looks like Mr. Winslow's son.
He looks like Mr. Winslow.
That's why. That's why it could be his son.
Yeah, this could be Mr. Winslow.
More than Darius McCrary ever did.
But it's not so much about this man, because I'm assuming this was meant to be funny, because the pictures look like he's taking the piss out of all of it. But then it made me think, related to the Tinder guy, is like people not presenting, you know, there has to be a balance of like putting your best foot forward. Like, you don't want to be fake. Like, obviously that guy likes fishing and snakes and hunting and whatever. But so, you know, you want to stay true to that, but also make yourself appealing. But then the other end of that is like people just straight up catfishing. Like, to lie about your age seems, or to lie about your appearance, or post pictures that are doctored, or pictures from 10 years ago when you were 30 pounds lighter. It just seems like, oh, so you only, like, you're not really interested in like developing, because a person's going to meet you, and depending on their mind headspace at that moment, they might, you know, they might tolerate you for that moment because they're desperate or whatever. But,
well, yeah. Well, if there was a quick fix that was about to happen and you're already both there, I mean, maybe a lot of gay men can relate to that. But I'd say that's a bad habit to do. If somebody's not presenting, somebody's straight up lying to you about how you look, you need to shut that down immediately. Well, we can't reward that behavior at all, I believe, now at this point in my life.
Well, I would say that, like, oh, you don't look like your pictures.
Yeah, like, who's this?
Like, oh, I'm surprised you don't look like your pictures.
Oh.
Or like, I just think it's weird. Like, that just feels like you're just setting yourself up for people being disappointed.
Yes.
And then that can't feel good.
Exactly. Because
I'm assuming for people who do things like that, you're probably often on the prowl. So you're probably often getting, I mean, they're not getting negative feedback per se, because then they probably stop doing it. But what they're getting is this feeling that like people are flakes. All the people out here are trash because I can't get a second date. And it's like,
well,
I think it's you maybe, but
you need to snap back to reality. Oh, there goes.
But reading the comments on this picture of the man who said he was 22 years of working at his job, maybe.
Oh yeah, that was
22 years sober.
That's like that movie Life of Chuck with the billboard. Like, that man is not young enough for whatever year that was.
Well, see, I thought Life of Chuck, that billboard felt like he's not old enough to be retired.
Right.
Yeah. This is the opposite. 22 years since his last child support payment. Oh, but I think it's cute because I want to believe that he is
joking.
But
yes, let's give the benefit of the doubt to this man.
Moving on to 5 on the black hand side, 5 black filmmakers who are not Tyler Perry. Who's first?
Gordon Parks.
You're
familiar with Mr. Parks
because he did Shaft.
Yes, and Shaft's big score. He did not direct the third Shaft film, Shaft in Africa, which is frankly quite terrible. But
but kind of fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. We reviewed Shaft's big score and Shaft in Africa, though, for back when we were doing Blu-rays many a moon ago. Also, The Learning Tree, which I didn't double check this, but I want to say it's the first. He's the first black director to get a studio feature out of that, and it's on Criterion. I've owned it for a long time. Back when I was reviewing those, they sent it to me, and I've been meaning to watch that. But yes, and so you can't talk about Gordon Parks without talking about his equally prominent son, Gordon Parks Jr., who also has a significant legacy in black film, with Superfly, which I love, with that that amazing soundtrack, and an exceptional Ron O'Neal as Superfly. There's the terrible remake from a few years ago that I don't recommend, but only if you want to get angry. But He also did Thomasine and Bushrod, which I've never seen and how he's meant to. Aaron Loves Angela, and a film that I highly recommend because it stars Jim Brown and Fred Williamson and I believe Jim Kelly, 3 The Hard Way, which I watched for the first time around the time They Clone Tyrone came out because it has very similar plot mechanisms. Excellent double feature with They Clone Tyrone. Yeah.
Next.
Bill Gunn, who you are also familiar with.
We haven't done Bill Gunn?
I don't think, no, because I wasn't doing Dead People until very recently.
Oh, you're right. Well, we reviewed
Ganja and Hess.
That's right.
Classic.
Oh,
yes.
no, we haven't done Bill Gunn. Yeah, but we did review Ganja and Hess.
Yes. Excellent, which Spike Lee has a decent remake of, The Sweet Blood of Jesus. But the original is, arguably a compromised film, but excellent. His first feature, I forget the studio, but they never released it, and it was slapped with an X rating, and it's about a troubled married couple who try swinging, and then apparently that doesn't go well from them. But it's called Stop, with an exclamation point. So I've always wanted to watch that. I do own Personal Problems.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue. Subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Acura dares to drive beyond standard. A torque vectoring super handling all-wheel drive system, standard in the Acura RDX. Panoramic moonroof and premium 3-row seating, standard in the Acura MDX. Sound that surrounds you, an 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen premium sound system comes standard in the all-electric ZDX, the Acura RDX, ZDX, and MDX, where precision meets craftsmanship. Visit Acura.com to learn more.
How could I not?
I'm referring to the Bill Gunn film.
Take that opportunity.
Well, I mean,
I'm an entertainer. What am I supposed to do?
I'm only a reflection of those in my vicinity.
So it's my fault. The cat lives here too.
I signed no blame to anyone for the accused personal problems that I'm experiencing. Anyway, let's keep it light. I've always wanted to watch this. It's about 3 hours. And we know how you feel about 3-hour films, but I think this is something I need to finally sit through one day. He also has appeared in films. I believe you didn't like his performance in Ganja and Hess, if I recall correctly. He's also in I'm blanking on the title, but he's appeared in many things.
Next,
Wanuri Kahiu. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing her name. Kenyan director. First feature was Rafiki, which I saw at Cannes, which was in the Certain Regards section. It's a lesbian Kenyan film, which there was some controversy over, I recall. She also did a Netflix movie after that I haven't seen called Look Both Ways, and she has some projects in development.
And last but not least,
this is fitting. He's a fitting entry for our coverage this week. Is Justin Douglas Powell, who has co-directed 3 genre features to date, all of which we reviewed now. But The Boy Behind the Door, The Djinn, and Push, the last being released on Shudder this week.
Thank you for that. There's nothing in the restaurant section, but you did start making a new kind of soup.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to describe this soup?
Well, it's
because you seem very proud of it.
Well, it feels like it's really healthy. Broccoli turmeric, and I've been adding rotisserie chicken to it and kale. What? It's really flavorful. What? Yeah. I like it.
Good.
And the last one, it's very hearty, and it wouldn't seem as being such. Although
perfect for the summer.
Well, and then I make this bread, this garlic, this buttery.
Well,
this guttery bread.
Well,
buttery garlic bread that
is really healthy too.
Yeah, well, it soaks up the soup. We ate somewhere this week because
I know. Well, I mean, we eat out a lot, but it's always like the same places. So,
because we were at Takaya and
well, we're at Takaya all the time.
Tu Madre.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about Tu Madre?
Wait, we had nachos.
Oh
in two
no,
places.
we had really good nachos. Where did we? Ooh, I forgot to take
See?
notes. Well, this is why I have to keep notes. But can we talk about Tu Madre's nachos?
Well, first of all, it was gas station cheese and it was cold, but
I've never had. Yeah, like, and I'm confused how the cheese was melted and like cold. All of the nachos, like all of the ingredients were very cold.
and I love some birria, but man,
It was very odd. But no, where did we get good nachos?
Desano's.
Oh, yes.
No, it's not called that.
No, it's not. What
That's
is
the
it
pizza
called?
place.
Oh my gosh, what is it?
It's right by SAG-AFTRA.
I know
where we took your mom once.
I know.
there's
Descanso. That's right.
Descanso, yeah.
Yeah, on Wilshire. It's the old Marie Callender's.
That's right. God, why is my mind thinking of Descanso Gardens?
So
What is that?
when we went, the service was a little questionable, and then we almost got caught having to listen to like a live DJ. And
Yeah, we had to skedaddle.
but we noticed they had a happy hour, so we decided to go back before we saw Eddington. Right?
Yeah.
And I have to say, their happy hour is not bad.
It was pretty good.
I don't know how much the bill was though.
It was okay. It was
Oh.
doable. I think it was under 100 with tip. We tried to, when I see $9 elote, I know I'm not going to get much. It was like,
It was very tasty.
but it
though.
was very tasty. But it was like 2 loving spoonfuls.
And then there was like some pork belly.
The agua chile, something. Yeah,
It was very flavorful.
that was tasty. And the
But-
nachos.
But the nachos were very good.
Mm-hmm.
They were the opposite of the Tu Madre nachos.
I don't mind too much. Tu Madre is cute. We live close by, and I like the space, even though
I think it's only good. Well,
the chairs are kind of uncomfortable.
their burrito. I mean, I like their burritos. They're pricey though, because those burritos are like $19.
They are.
And they're itty bitty.
They are, which makes me feel like not such a fatty when I eat the whole thing. But
And their guacamole is
they don't have.
fresh, but they don't season it.
It's not good. Yeah, where's the salt and pepper? Where's the lemon? Something.
You know, it literally tastes like they just took fresh avocados, mushed them up, and put them in a wooden bowl. That's it, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't taste like there's salt,
In a
pepper, lemon, lime, nothing.
In a crucible. Yeah, no, it's
But they do have a nice chamoy mango Slurpee,
You know,
an alcoholic beverage that I do like.
you clown me for buying chip flavors that are strange, and I bought some chamoy chips recently.
And were they good?
No,
No,
they don't taste
And
like
that's
chamoy.
why I clown you.
But I still want to try it. I need to know. I might have discovered something new. I still think of those Waleed's pita chips that
Oh
I still
my
want,
God.
and they went out of business, and I want them.
You've been talking about those chips for 13 years.
I know, because they were nom 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 nom.
Maybe longer than 13 years, actually. It's probably been like 15 years that you've been talking about those pita chips that you only had one time.
Wait, they might have been twice because I discovered them on because we used to.
Oh, because you got them in a
Ralph's.
what's the name? No. Oh,
No, it was at Ralph's.
it was at
on
Ralph's.
Fountain, and they were in the discount section.
Oh, no. So it has been like 13 years.
Yeah,
That's right.
and then they might have had a second bag in the discount because I went back.
No, you know what? I had a sense memory of what is the Mediterranean restaurant in Minneapolis that was by the Columbia Theater?
India Palace,
No.
Holy
Grail?
Land.
Holy Land. Holy
God.
Grail.
You've chosen wisely.
Yeah, good old Holy Land.
Oh yeah, we used to
Get the King's Feast and tear it up.
the Sheik's Feast.
Oh, Sheik's Feast. That's right. King.
Well, shake, I guess. But oh yeah, and that one time we went to a film noir double feature, and it was icy as fuck, and I flew about 10 feet in the air, falling on some ice, and I ruined our leftovers.
No, that wasn't from there. Wasn't it from that? What was that popular Chinese restaurant that was on Hennepin in Uptown that we would go to? Because I remember I was driving that Land Rover and you got out and slipped.
I swear that was Holy.
You think it was
Land
Holy Grail?
leftovers?
Holy Land? I thought it was that Chinese restaurant.
Kindo was the restaurant you're talking about.
But what was Kindo known for? Because I feel like
I want to say they weren't Chinese either. It was.
okay, excuse me, everyone.
I remember I really liked that place though.
Well, back then I wasn't super into
Asian cuisine.
probably, yeah, no, I probably wasn't
That's
that into it. So that was like the one place
That's your mother's fault.
Well, no, I also like Chiang Mai. No, What was the popular Thai restaurant that everyone would go to that they had 2 locations in Minneapolis? There was one by that sex shop downtown.
Oh, and one by the Eagle.
And one by the
Sawat
Eagle.
D.
Sawat D.
Yeah.
So I would go to Sawat D, and then what is the one you said was on Hennepin?
Kindo.
I feel like they were known for something.
Well, I like to get I think it was probably something basic, like their sweet and sour chicken. But oh God, what was that other place? We had a friend whose aunt owned it, and they were known for their egg rolls.
It was pho.
Was it? They were known for a couple things, but because it was by the 19 bar.
Yeah, that was Vietnamese
named
food.
After a flower,
right? Wasn't it Vietnamese? Like it was
blossom. Pho. Yeah, they had that.
And what was the name of that gay bookstore?
Lotus something.
But there was a gay bookstore right there too.
Oh God, remember the gay coffee shop? Remember Vera's?
No, anyway. But what was the gay bookstore that was next to the Vietnamese restaurant?
I don't recall. I don't know if I frequented that. Was it like a bookstore or like you could actually buy books there?
It was like a gay bookstore that sold like it was like
it's probably long gone.
Like Block Party. It's one of those kind of stores where they sell like rainbow shit and porno and like gay books and music and bracelets and.
Okay, so it wasn't an actual like there weren't like there. I couldn't buy classic literature there.
No.
Okay.
Like the gay adult books.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, I don't think I was ever in there.
There's no way you weren't in there.
I don't think I was. I that wasn't really my scene.
It was Loring Park. It was like by everything.
Still, I wasn't.
I find it hard to believe you were never in there.
I don't think that I was. I would remember. You know my memory, and I'm not afraid to admit.
But you also lie, so I don't know. Anyway, okay. Well, films released we didn't cover.
Wow.
Apocalypse in the Tropics.
Petra Costa's new documentary. It's a Netflix release, but I think it got a theatrical this week, and next week it'll be available for streaming. And I do plan on catching up with it, but it's about how the evangelical movement in Brazil allowed for the election of Bolsonaro, who we all know is a effing asshole. Anyway, I do want to see that.
And then Daniela Forever.
So we had this on the docket to cover, and we ran out of time this week. It's a new Nacho Vigalondo film, who I am a fan of because of Time Crimes and Colossal, starring Anne Hathaway. I think I reviewed his film Extraterrestrial, which is over a decade old. This stars Henry Golding, who, yes, he's a beautiful, handsome man, but I find him so dull. And even in this film, which is asking him to emote a little more in the third act,
not ovate.
I don't. Yes, Matthew McConaughey. It doesn't quite work for me. I feel like we've seen this film before. It'll remind you of all kinds of things like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because it's about a man who's grieving the loss of a girlfriend, and he's allowed to participate in this experimental sleep research where lucid dreams allow you to interact with the deceased person, but you can only really revisit what you have actual memories of, but things start to get complicated. This dead lady ends up like maybe have been being more bisexual than he realized. Again, some interesting things. It's 2 hours long though, and I think that with this familiar scenario would have benefited greatly at reducing the running time.
Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight.
Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight.
Don't Let's Go to the Dogs Tonight.
Which I believe is a South African feature. I do want to see this. It was directed by Mbeth Davids, who is a actor that I'm familiar with, especially from the 90s, because she played the kindly teacher in the original version of Matilda. She's also in a Robert Altman film, Gingerbread Man. And she's in that Denzel Washington movie that I really like called Fallen. If you've never seen that, you have, but to anyone listening in particular, it's a pretty good 1997 film, and with great use of a Rolling Stone song, if my memory serves correct. Anyway, this sounds like an interesting drama. I was at some critics meeting and somebody was raving about this film, so I do plan on fitting it in. But they were offering, they had screenings for this in LA, but it's like, I think I need a screening link for this. I don't know.
Oh.
It's like for some of the like. It's hard running around to all these screening rooms in LA. Like, I have a very nice big television at home. Give me the link.
Lastly, Wild Diamond.
Wild Diamond. I reviewed this out of the 2024 Cannes Film Festival. It's, I believe, a debut. Agatha Reidinger. It was in competition at Cannes, which I thought was surprising because it seemed like an uncertain regard selection, really. But it's about a young girl who is kind of got a kind of down and out, trying very hard to be popular on social media and doing weird shit to her body, shoplifting like crazy, and setting all of her dreams on getting cast in some reality TV show that I don't remember now because it's been over a year since I've seen it, if that happens for her or if it does. Anyway, I think it's a decent first feature. The lead performer is giving it her all, which I suggest if any of that sounds interesting to you, it's worth seeing. But we did not make time for it. I do have a review out there for it, though.
Could you get up and come look at my screen? Do you remember this plaza? So Lotus to Go, and then Rainbow Road is what I was talking about.
I do remember Rainbow Road, but I don't remember that it was cruisy.
Oh, I didn't say it was cruisy.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then they had that liquor store there, and then there was a Super America.
Yeah.
And I remember, and then they had the King and I Thai restaurant on the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I have fond memories of this little area.
I do too.
Well, we used to live over here too, but yeah, Rainbow Road, they're still there. Isn't that
good
crazy?
For them. That is kind of crazy. But,
yeah.
Oh, well, I need to make, it's been a minute since I've been there in Minneapolis, and I probably should make a visit.
All right. Projects of interest, a new Michel Franco.
Yeah, apparently you are familiar with Michel Franco, who is a notable contemporary kind of divisive Mexican director, but I do quite like him. I look forward to a new Michel Franco film. He's cynical and dark, and he gets into the muddy water, and I love it. We reviewed his 2020 film New Order.
Okay. And
we reviewed I think it was his English language debut. No, it's not. Chronic's his English language debut. But we reviewed Memory with Jessica Chastain and Peter Sarsgaard.
Okay.
And then he worked with Jessica Chastain again in a film called Dreams, which I also recommend, which premiered at Berlin this year. And apparently, there's no cast involved, but it's rumored Chastain might be in it again. But he is already editing a film he shot already. So what month is it? July. I'm assuming we'll see him in Berlin or Cannes again this year. So he works very efficiently. He said he's never going to work for Hollywood because he's worked too hard to find his voice. Why would he take that away? And he doesn't love money enough to compromise himself.
Well, that's how I feel. All right. This past week on Patreon, we reviewed the Pedro Almodovar film Bad Education.
La Mala Educación.
And we did an emergency episode of the film Civil Brand, which is available to the public for free. So for people who do not pay to listen to our Patreon entries, they can listen to that one to get a sense of the nonsense we get to on the Patreon. Okay, unfortunately, there are a couple of entries in the obituary section. Mark Snow died. He's the composer of things like X-Files theme, Ghost Whisperer, Blue Bloods.
That's right. I did see him come up. Yep.
He was 78 years old. And then Jewel Tice Williams died.
Yeah.
She is the... well, how would you just? I was going to say the creator, but not the creator.
She established
she established the very popular nightclub Jules Catch One.
Yeah, which is still open, but it's changed significantly.
It was a very popular gay spot.
Yeah, through the 90s.
And I had the chance to go once, and I feel very fortunate. And I think about that night a lot, because a lot happened that night, but but it was probably the most fun I've ever had dancing was there. It was the first time I heard music I actually listened to, because in the 90s, going to the gay bars, especially in Vegas, they would actively not play.
Well, this was notably a club that was open to everyone, but because of that, I think had a large kind of black following. That was, as you were saying, one of the only places that was playing that music outside of popular shit.
Well, because the gay bars will take all the like urban stuff and make it like
Yeah.
So it's like it was the first time I heard like the songs I actually listened to like the original way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that place, I mean, I'm sure a million people have a million memories. I know we watched a documentary about it.
We did, yeah. And Madonna had the premiere for her music album there.
Yeah,
I believe that's how big it was. Like Madonna was
checking for
that shit. It's I think it was closed for a while. I do know that they still have gay events, because I was talking to somebody recently out and about, and they had gone to a gay night there, and they said it was really fun because it has there's multiple rooms with different kinds of music playing.
Yeah, it's a large space.
But the thing is about where it's located is you really will be, if you're somebody that likes to bounce around, or you're probably going to stay there for the night until you go to
that
afters.
was the thing when I was younger, because we would come out here and it's like, well, we'd always stay in West Hollywood, and back then in the late 90s, West Hollywood was like a lot was happening. So to drive down to Pico and go all that, like there's nothing, and then that area back then was not very nice. So then it's like, do you kind of want to go to like an area that doesn't feel particularly safe compared to where you can just stay? Like we could walk from our hotel to like 10 gay bars. It's nowadays with ride share and all that, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but the times have changed. I don't know that this venue would have stayed the same much longer, just with how the tides have turned for nightlife in general. And the reality is everyone complains about things changing, but it's like, yeah, for your generation, but it's like your generation also changes. And so then the new generation, they want different things. So why would they want the same shit you were into? But yeah, I recall this being very popular. I had a fabulous time the one time I got to go, but she passed away.
She was 86 or something.
Yeah. All right. The secret film this week was your choice, and you chose the 1999 film Magnolia, written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. This film is 188 minutes long.
Yes, you weren't happy with me.
It stars some notable people like Tom Cruise, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Sorry to this man. Philip Seymour Hoffman, John C. Reilly, William H. Macy, Jason Robards. There are a lot of people in this
Melinda
movie.
Dillon, Henry Gibson. Yep.
And there's no point even trying to tell the basic story, but it's set in San Fernando Valley over a single day, and basically like we follow multiple characters and see how their lives intersect.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I asked you what is the secret film and you said Magnolia, I said, oh, the one with Tom Cruise. And I don't know how I know that, except Tommy Boy is one of my favorites. So I think I know all the titles of his movies, and I think I just knew that Magnolia was a Tom Cruise movie. Although after watching it, I wouldn't say it's a Tom Cruise movie. He's just in it. But I thought that this movie was like, I thought it was going to be like, what's the one where they have the people who like dream the future and they're stuck in these vessels? And it's a Tom Cruise movie.
Minority Report?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I thought this movie was going to be like Minority Report.
No. Well, okay.
And I deliberately didn't read what it was about when you told me it was 3 hours long. So imagine my surprise when this felt very different from that. Why did you choose this movie?
So I haven't seen it since probably the year 2000 when I rented it on VHS with my dad, and it was back when longer films needed 2 VHS tapes to get through. And I think I owned it after that. I have been wanting to rewatch it. 1, because there's a new P.T. Anderson movie coming out this year. 2, I don't believe you've seen a P.T. Anderson film, so I need to start remedying that. Right? Because have you seen Boogie Nights?
There's or other things you need to work on? Remedy Me and PTA. Is that, yeah, people call him PTA. Okay, he's done Hard 8, Boogie Night. There Will Be Blood?
Yes.
Okay.
The Master.
So I don't think I've seen his movie.
When I saw Phantom Thread, you didn't come to that with me. I was at the...
I keep thinking Phantom Thread is a Star Wars movie.
No, you would think, but no. The AFI premiere of Inherent Vice, which is probably my least favorite film of his. And
Boogie Nights would be a good Patreon selection.
It would. I've been wanting to rewatch that too. But in my mind's eye, in my 16-year-old's eye, Magnolia has always been what I've listed as my favorite P.T. Anderson film. And I wanted to rewatch it also because we did a Patreon review of Robert Altman's Shortcuts, which I think has some comparisons with...
God, what is Shortcuts about? I can't remember.
You love Shortcuts.
I do not remember that movie. Hold on.
With Lily Tomlin hitting that kid in the car.
Yes.
That's the route to your memory, is Lily Tomlin hitting a kid. And Jennifer Jason Leigh is the sex phone operator. Oh God, Jack Lemmon. There are a lot of similarities with that film, also including a cast member, Julianne Moore. I think
Isabelle Huppert in Shortcuts.
No, she's not.
No,
she never worked with Altman.
Wait a minute. What's the movie where Isabelle Huppert? No. Lily Tomlin's in a movie with Isabelle Huppert.
That's I Heart Huckabees, darling.
Oh, then I don't know what Shortcuts is. I thought you were talking about I Heart Huckabees.
We have a Patreon review for Shortcuts.
Shortcuts? What year is that movie?
1991.
Hold on. Shortcuts?
Oh, no. That's like 93. I think it's 93.
Oh, my God. What is Shortcuts movie? Okay, Robert Altman.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Is this about the earthquake?
No.
What's the LA movie where there's an earthquake at the end? And we went to that Mexican restaurant in Los Feliz right afterwards.
San Andreas?
No, it's like a movie with all these like intersecting.
It's recent?
God, it's the restaurant we went to. We've been a few times, like with Bo, we'll sit outside, but the only time we've ever sat inside, we went right after we watched this movie.
Oh, I remember that restaurant. I don't know what we were seeing that evening.
It's a movie by a very popular director, and then we watched this person's other movie where it's about, oh God, who was with Susan Sarandon?
Tim Robbins.
And then he's in a movie where he's like a movie executive.
The Player.
And he ends up killing someone and Okay.
That's also Robert Altman.
Okay, the person who made that movie made a movie where it's an ensemble cast and it ends with a big earthquake.
Oh, Shortcut. Well, I don't remember that earthquake and Shortcuts, I guess. But Shortcuts is also 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Okay.
You don't remember Andy McDowell, Jack Lemmon?
All I remember from that movie is the earthquake. The movie I was thinking of was Lily Tomlin and Isabelle Huppert.
That's I Heart Huckabees. That does not end with an earthquake. You don't remember it? Okay. Anyway.
Wait, who else is in it? Let me see.
Fred Ward, Matthew Modine, Tim Robbins.
Oh, is Julianne Moore naked in it?
Yes, like she's crotch. You see her crotch for like 5 minutes or something.
I don't remember
Frances
Robert
McDormand.
Downey Jr. though. What was he in it?
When kids don't play, they grow up without creativity. They'll try to blend in and wear chinos. Or worse, polyester chinos. Good thing Gushers, Fruit by the Foot, and Fruit Roll-Ups are made to be played with. You better be playing.
Say hello to the new Iced Horchata Shaken Espresso from Starbucks. This handcrafted espresso drink with hints of cinnamon and vanilla is shaken with ice and oat milk to create the perfect summer sip. Available for a limited time at Starbucks.
Anyway, okay, but we're not talking about Shortcuts, for which we do have a Patreon review out there, which maybe you need to revisit. Magnolia. But since then, I've been wanting to really rewatch this, and it seemed like a good time well in advance of P.T. Anderson's new movie coming out. My memories of it were that I was quite taken with it. But again, I was 16. And I remember my dad not quite getting it. And this also seemed to come, it feels very end of turn of the century kind of. And I wasn't familiar with LA. I think having lived here so many years now and being a wiser, older adult, I have a kind of, not a completely different take on it, but I felt a lot colder towards it. And I feel like it's maybe trying a bit too hard. But you have to remember, this came right after the huge success of Boogie Nights. And basically, New Line Cinema told P.T. Anderson, you can do whatever you want. It kind of, there are so many mirrors to Altman here. Henry Gibson, who is in Nashville. He's the older gay man at the bar. And then how Altman used to get some of his films funded in the 70s. 3 Women, there was not a completed script. He was just given the money to do that movie, which is one of my favorites of all time. But I mean, it's weird to think that even in 1999, this shit was still happening for people that had films of this stature. But anyway, yeah. So Magnolia feels like that. Like he was getting to do whatever he wanted.
Well, he's quoted as saying that he called this an attempt to make a big, huge, epic movie about everyday lives. But apparently this film is divisive because of its length and ambition, but is now considered a modern classic.
It won the Berlin Film Festival. Tom Cruise got Oscar nominated. He won a Golden Globe.
He received 3 Academy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actor, or including Best Supporting Actor and Best Original Screenplay, and I think maybe Best Song.
Oh, so that's the other thing about this. I bought, my first car was a Mazda 66, and I owned this album on CD, and I have very specific memories whenever I hear Amy Mann or several other songs. I love the soundtrack for this. And then William H. Macy's character has this, I'd say it's a 90s classic. The whole reason I bought it was because of the song playing in William H. Macy's car. But
the story is, there is so much going on. There are like 9 main characters, and they're all sort of connected to varying degrees. There are 2 sort of like main storylines, or 2 main categories of characters. So where do you even begin? Like, there's a kids quiz show. Mm-hmm. It's called What Do Kids Know? But it's not like, are you smarter than a 5th grader? It's more like Jeopardy, where they'll have like adults competing against like super smart kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that show is hosted by
Jimmy Gator, played by Philip Baker Hall.
This older man who's dying of cancer. So we see him on this day trying to film this one episode. And the main kid, like the smart kid who we focus on, is a kid, Stanley Spector.
Yes.
And so we're witnessing his sort of like, he's kind of having like a, how would you just, like an existential crisis or something?
Yes.
Because he's realizing in this moment that like he's being not only like pressured by adults, including his father, but also like emotionally neglected. Mm-hmm. And it all culminates in him telling like the production assistant coordinator, played by Felicity Huffman.
Yes.
He says like, I have to pee. And she goes, you need to wait. We need to finish taping. He's like, but I really have to pee. No, you need to wait. You can hold it. And then he ends up peeing on himself.
Mm-hmm. And that kid's Jeremy Blackman. His dad is played by Michael Bowen, who you just saw as Buck in Kill Bill Volume 1.
So that kid is like, in the end, he basically says something like, I'm like the smartest person in this studio and I'm being rewarded for it. And then you won't even trust me when I tell you I have to pee, which I think is very symbolic of like just all the things he's feeling. Okay, then that man, Jimmy Gator, mm-hmm. he's married and has a daughter, Claudia.
He's married to Melinda Dillon, who you should recognize from A Christmas Story or Harry and the Hendersons. And his daughter is played by Melora Walters.
And Melinda is a drug addict.
Melora.
And also very, like, I mean, she seems to have like severe emotional issues.
She is a red flag factory, as you said, after we watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. And these issues stem from unresolved
childhood trauma
from her father, who she claims molested her.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear that from the dad, Jimmy Gator's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But one day, she's playing music really loudly, the daughter, and the neighbors call the police, and a police officer shows up, played by John C. Reilly.
Yes.
And he is kind of, he's attracted to her. And so it goes from him trying to like tell her you shouldn't listen to your music loud. It's inconsiderate to like, can I ask you on a date?
You could hurt your hearing.
They go on a date, and she again is a red flag factory.
Well, and I don't know, she's one of the most extreme coke addicts I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Okay. Getting back to the quiz show, there's another character named Donnie, played by William H. Macy.
Mm-hmm.
He is a former like contestant of What Do Kids Know? Like he won the show. He's like a child genius, and he won money.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't very clear to me, but it seems like he got a certain level of fame and maybe a little bit of fortune.
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that his parents took that money from him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like desperate for like recognition, or maybe like validation, love. We meet him going to get fitted for braces, and then it's clear like this William H. Macy doesn't need braces, and he's a middle-aged man. Like, why is he getting braces?
Right.
And then you find out later that there's a very handsome bartender who he's like in love with,
Brad.
and Brad has braces.
Brad seems also too old to have braces, by the way.
And so I guess William H. Macy thinks if he gets braces, Brad will like him, even though Brad is paying him in dust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not rude to him, but he's just doing his job. Like, he's not giving William H. Macy any extra attention.
Well, William H. Macy's not putting himself on the line to make his interest known either.
So
whereas Henry Gibson is.
The quiz show is on a network that is like an executive for the network is
like NBC,
is Earl Partridge, played by Jason Robards.
Two-time Oscar winner Jason Robards.
Okay, so Earl Partridge is dying. Like, he's bedridden. And he has a much younger wife, played by Julianne Moore.
Mm-hmm. Who's reuniting with P.T. Anderson after Boogie Nights.
And he has a caregiver, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Okay. So Earl Partridge is dying, and on his deathbed, he's telling his nurse, Philip Seymour Hoffman, a name. He's saying like TJ Mackey or Frank Mackey or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as the audience, we know who Frank Mackey is because that's Tom Cruise's character. And Tom Cruise is playing this guru who wrote this book called Seduce and Destroy. And it's basically like how to trick women into having sex with you.
One of the taglines is like, what does it say? Like, not all pussies have 9 lives or something.
He says a lot of crazy
like,
shit in this
whoa,
movie.
Yeah.
But he is the son of Jason Robards,
Mm-hmm.
but they're estranged. And we learn through an interview that Tom Cruise's character is giving this woman that he's basically lied about his childhood, because he actually has a lot of feelings about his dad who abandoned his mom, and then the mom died shortly thereafter. So he was raised by some neighbors or something.
We need to get back to the cancer running through all over this movie, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Those are all these characters.
April Grace is the woman playing the interviewer, Guinevere, which I think some of the best scenes are with her.
So why is the film called Magnolia? Because 3 of the characters, I believe it's William H. Macy,
Melinda Dillon,
and John C. Reilly are all driving that night, and they all stop at an intersection, and the street is Magnolia.
Which, so this is kind of a quintessential, I'd say LA film at large, but particularly the San Fernando Valley. Also, Magnolia with like blossoming flower that is, have you ever seen a magnolia tree?
Let me Google.
Well, it's more, I would say, aligned with the American South, and it kind of has connotations with nobility, dignity. It's signify, if you have magnolia tree, that's like money. But also the magnolia tree bark is also used in cancer medications. Apparently, like there's a medicinal aspect to the magnolia tree. So I think there are a lot of metaphors and symbols that can be read into this beyond it, but also working very well with where the specific locale of this is.
I feel like the easiest way to talk about this film would be like through the themes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is my first time watching it. I didn't know what the movie was about. And when it finished 3 hours later, the biggest thing that
God,
I don't like long movies. I don't feel like a movie needs to be more than 2 hours. You need to tell a shorter story then. We don't need a 3-hour story. Or you need to make 2 movies, but don't make me sit there. Because then it feels like, every minute over 2 hours, it feels like, so you really think you have something to say. And then every time, like, I just feel like after a certain point.
You didn't say that about Mission Impossible Final Reckoning with Tommy Boy.
That's because it's giving me, like, what was my review? That you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Okay. So it feels like, movies cost whatever they cost, $20, $30, I don't know. But like, to sit there for 2+ hours and get like all these effects and all this action and silliness, it feels like, well, I'm getting something for my money, whether or not you like it or not, or it's not your flavor. But I just think sometimes, like, I didn't hate this movie. I would say I liked it more than I didn't. And I do think it's quite the accomplishment.
I agree. And there's a lot I like about it, but as a 40-year-old compared to a 16, 17-year-old seeing it, I do think it's trying too hard to be profound in several instances.
Well, okay, so I was saying that the main theme that came over me is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like every damn character
is stuck
because of it. So, I mean, Jason Robards, he's on his deathbed and he asks for Tom Cruise, but we don't know like why until you realize, that's his son who he abandoned. So of course, I mean, that's like textbook, like redemption, forgiveness. like now that I'm on my deathbed, I want to get right with everyone I did crazy. And then Tom Cruise, I don't know that he fits into the forgiveness.
Well, he needs to forgive his father. And I think that's kind of what that signifies at the very end. I remember at the Oscars that year, because he lost to Michael Caine for the Cider House Rules, which was Caine's second Oscar. And I remember Caine in his Oscar speech said something like to Tom Cruise, like, be glad you didn't win this because you don't want to know what supporting actors get paid.
Oh, damn.
Something like that. He meant it to be funny.
Okay,
yeah.
Julianne Moore, she is like racked with guilt because she is set to inherit all of Jason Robards' money because will be his widow. But she feels guilty because she married him for money, obviously, but then fell in love with him, but then also feels guilty because...
Well, I think she feels guilty because she says she doesn't love him. To the lawyer played by Michael Murphy.
Oh, well, that's true. In the end, she says she loves him.
Yeah, well, right when she's next to him in bed.
But like coming to that realization that like I really did love you, which we could talk about that more. But for forgiveness, she feels very guilty that she married this man for money and then cheated on him the entire time, to the point where, like you already said, she's at her lawyer's office talking about, I don't want the inheritance.
And she's kind of a pillhead as well.
I thought her character was ridiculous.
She has one really good scene in a pharmacy, but I agree. I think her character feels a lot like the Sandra Bullock character in Crash, where she's like, I don't need this.
Okay, Philip Seymour Hoffman, I really did like his character. I don't think his character is looking for forgiveness or redemption.
No, he's a facilitator.
Yeah. Then John C. Reilly, I don't think that he
seems so sweet in this. He seems dumb but sweet.
He seems like he wants to help, and that maybe that's a function of maybe him feeling inadequate in ways, because there's a moment where he loses his gun.
Yeah.
And then he's, of course, like, a cop losing their gun is like, this is not good.
Like, you're a dummy.
Okay. Claudia Wilson,
played by Melora Walters, yeah.
The
cokehead.
The cokehead. I don't think that she is looking for forgiveness. I mean, she's troubled.
She's looking for something, though. Her apartment was driving me crazy. This is something I wouldn't have thought as a 17-year-old, but all the because it's not curtains, she's basically hanging fabric over all the windows. That was driving me insane.
Yeah, you mentioned it like 8 times.
I was like, oh
every
my
time you saw her window treatments.
well, as soon as John C. Reilly walked in, I'm like, this is the apartment of a troubled person.
Okay, Jimmy Gator, the host of the show.
Love Philip Baker Hall. He was in Hard 8, P.T. Anderson's first movie.
He, is dying. And so after the show can't even finish taping because the little boy gets up and leaves. He refuses to participate after he feels like they ignored him.
Well, wait, I think it's Philip Baker Hall's little... before that happens, doesn't he pass out?
He collapses, but he gets himself together, comes back on stage, and then they have that final where like one adult, one kid go head to head, and then of course the other kids are like, well, you need to send
those other useless dumb kids,
Stanley Spector, because he's the smartest kid, and Stanley's like, I'm not doing it, and then he runs off the set. So then taping is done for the day, and Jimmy Gator goes home to his wife. And then he's just laying there, and he's basically trying to like confess to her.
He's been drinking the whole night. He's like, I got a lot more liquor to get through.
And he basically says, I just want to let you know that I feel bad because I've cheated on you before. And maybe you know, maybe you don't. But I feel like I need to tell you, not just to, cleanse my own spirit, but so that you know that it's not like you're not to blame.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want you to feel like you did something to make me do that. And then she is like, okay, I received that. And since you feel like talking, I want to ask you a question. How come Claudia doesn't talk to you anymore? Our daughter. And he's like, I don't know. She's like, oh, I think you know. Say it. Say why. I don't know. No, you're going to tell me why. Well, because she says I molested her. I mean, that's what she says, but I don't know.
That's what she thinks. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, well, I don't know why she thinks that. Like, I don't know. How does he phrase it? Because he doesn't straight up say, I did not inappropriately touch our dog.
He says, I don't know what I did. And then she's like, you know what you did. And she basically, Melinda Dillon's like going to leave. And he's like, would it have made you feel better if I did know? And and I was sorry. And she's like, no.
So then she gets up and leaves. And that's why she's driving and goes to that intersection.
Mm-hmm.
William H. Macy, I mean, there is a moment of forgiveness because he's kind of, how would you just, like, he's kind of pitiful.
Oh yeah, he's a loser.
Because he's worked this job, I think it's like at a furniture store.
Run by Alfred Molina, whose name is Solomon.
And it's very clear that Solomon has taken a liking to him because William H. Macy has worked there forever. But when we meet William H. Macy, his boss is we meet him getting braces, but then we meet Solomon. He's called William H. Macy into his office and he's like, listen, I'm tired of your shenanigans. Like, you don't do this right. You don't do that right. You ask me for money. It takes you a year to pay me off. I don't even charge you interest. You give me a hard time.
You're late. Yeah.
You're always late. And then the final straw is William H. Macy says like, well, you can't fire me because I'm having surgery. And he's like, what? What kind of surgery? Well, what is it? Corrective oral surgery?
Yeah.
He's like, correct. Like, what kind of oral surgery do you need? Well, I'm getting braces. And then Solomon has like an assistant in the back, and he's like, ain't no braces.
You don't
for
need
surgery.
those.
Like, you don't need braces. And so finally, Solomon fires William H. Macy. So then William H. Macy gets desperate and goes and robs the store. Like, because he of course knows the combination of the safe, steals a bunch of money. But then he realizes this is wrong and tries to give it back. And then in the process of giving it back, he gets caught breaking into the store by John C. Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a moment. And then John C. Reilly chooses to not arrest him for breaking and entering and burglary. He just says, we'll go put the money back and we'll, he has some speech about there are times when
it's hard to know when the times are to penalize somebody, basically. Right. It's like, okay, that's pompous, but whatever.
So then there's that. And
ironically, William H. Macy falls because a frog hits his head.
Well, we'll get to the whole frog.
But he ironically will probably need oral corrective surgery.
Yeah, his teeth are all messed up now. Okay. Another big theme is I think like the trauma we get from our parents.
For sure. Yes.
Because we have like absentee fathers, abusive, parents, sexually, emotionally neglected children. So that's a common theme, right?
Yes.
Specifically for little Stanley.
Well, children being used.
Well, yeah,
or
Stanley's
used or
being
ignored.
Stanley's being used and ignored. Claudia, based off of God, these names. Jimmy Gator, Philip Baker Hall's character, based on his response to like, did you molest our daughter? It's like, well, I feel like at the bare minimum, there is a reason why Claudia has this feeling towards her dad.
Right.
And it has clearly affected her.
It's defined her.
It is absolutely defined her.
Just like with Tom Cruise's character, he's defined by what happened.
And I think this theme matches most strongly with Tom Cruise's character because he has the most toxic feelings towards women. And I think the casting of Tom Cruise makes a lot of sense because you have this man who's teaching other men how to basically like manipulate women to get what you want out of them. But it's like a man like Tom Cruise, like not the actor Tom Cruise, but a man who looks like this man in the movie would not have a problem getting sex from women.
No.
So then it's like, well, this is probably stemmed from the fact that he felt abandoned by his dad, and then coupled with the loss of his mother. And then we find out that he's lied about going to UC Berkeley, and
his message to these men kind of relates to what you started this podcast episode out with at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Fight Club, which came out the same year, now that I think about it.
Yeah. And then, okay, so then we can get to, I guess, well, like coincidence.
Well, the film opens and ends with Ricky Jay, who appears in the film as somebody that works with Philip Baker Hall on the show, narrating these instances of, are they coincidence or are they related events that seem kind of...
let's tell that
strangely
story
related.
Because the story is about this narrator saying like, oh, there was this guy in like 19 something or other who jumped off of a building in an attempt to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And so he jumps off this 20-story building. And at the same time he jumps off the building, his parent, because he lives with his parents are in their living room arguing. And the mother's being dramatic and grabs a gun. But the mother knows the gun is not loaded, and the husband doesn't load his gun or keep his gun loaded. So she just grabs it to be dramatic and then points it at the husband while they're arguing and pulls the trigger, and it goes off. There is a bullet in there. So then we find out that the son had loaded that gun, hoping that his parents would kill themselves after he kills himself. So as he's jumping off the building, the mom pulls the trigger, and that bullet strikes him. But it's important to know that window cleaners had left their safety net out. So the police determined that he was killed because of the bullet, not the jump, because had he not been shot, he would have been saved by that net. So then his mom is charged with murder, and he's charged as an accomplice because he's the one who loaded that gun. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, his parents are wrecked.
And that's actually one of only 3 unrelated incidents that open the film about accidental murder.
Yeah. So I think, you already said it, but I do think this feels like it thinks it's more profound than it is.
Yeah, some of these are trying to, especially with the Julianne Moore character, I just feel like it's trying too hard.
Well, she's my least favorite, or she's my second least favorite character. My least favorite character is this little boy who's like this
little black kid
who's like an urban street kid who's the one like selling chocolate and rapping,
like a prophet.
What is his name? He's
in 2 scenes. We first meet him with John C. Reilly, who he wants to, check his flow with, I guess. And John C. Reilly doesn't like hearing all the vulgar, coarse language this child is using. I found that scene really grating. And then, of course,
his little rap was tired.
It was, and it's just like, I told you who the kid, because that is John C. Reilly has responded to a domestic disturbance call, and this black woman answers the door, and she is on 11 and screaming in this cop's face.
Marcy, played by Cleo King.
Yes, yeah. And he has to handcuff her to her couch while he investigates her bedroom situation. And there's the body of, it looks like the body of a dead white man who's her partner that she's killed. And then he meets this kid outside that apartment complex, and the kid says, "Oh, I can tell you who the murderer is, but it's in my, like a riddle. It's in my rap." And
then he doesn't say at first it's in my rap. He raps to him,
right?
And then Philip Seymour Hoffman keeps interrupting him. So then he goes, so when the kid is done, the cop says, "Well, okay, are you going to tell me who did it?" He's like, "I did. It was in my rap." And I just thought, like, okay, this is too much. First of all, like, I thought all of that was really cringy. And then we meet the kid again, that second scene, after Julianne Moore tries to kill herself by carbon monoxide
in
poisoning.
Her unlocked car. Yeah.
She ends up giving up and then just driving her Mercedes convertible to the hood, wherever this little boy is, and just parking and falling
Except
asleep.
they're not in the hood. It's like,
well, I mean,
San Fernando Valley.
I don't know. And then the boy sees this white woman in a fancy car and like breaks in the car, steals money out of her purse, calls 911, and then the paramedics come and like resuscitate her. Yeah, I didn't like that character, but Julianne Moore's character just felt extraneous.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But so in the audience, we first see direct reference to Exodus 8:2.
Yeah,
the audience of the quiz show, because it's cameras are about to roll and somebody comes and yanks somebody's holding up a sign that says it, and somebody comes and yanks that out of that man's hands. But that is a biblical reference about frogs actually falling from the sky.
And then the end of this movie, which will be the one thing I do remember from this film.
Again, yeah, the ending's very unforgettable.
Frogs just falling from the sky.
And they're big frogs.
And the effects look good. I mean, it's clearly CGI plus practical, but yeah. I mean, it looks really good. I mean, I'm assuming, I mean, it's symbolic and absurd, and it just feels like it's trying really hard to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to rework this story, I would approach it differently, but I think that I wish we would have focused more on like the theme of forgiveness and how it poisons us
rather than like coincidence.
Well, then, yeah. And then this sort of like magical realism. And then like, I don't like that these like 9, 10, whatever characters are sort of bundled into 2 different groups. And it's just like a lot. I feel like the quiz show could have been the centerpiece, mm-hmm. and then all the people sort of connected to the quiz show. Like, I think that would have been enough.
Yeah, it's just, it's lacking in something that I guess I'm not articulating well, compared to something like a Shortcuts, which I think is an exemplary version of what Magnolia is trying to do. But again, there are moments where it kind of, there are flashes of it that feel so strong, like that moment when Melinda Dillon gets to her daughter's apartment, and you see that painting, and we focus that's the painting is like, it looks like a woman being abused, but we zoom in on a caption that's in the painting that says, "But it did happen."
I think most of the characters, I mean, even like Julianne Moore, I think her best moment is at the pharmacy, because she clearly, is taking all kinds of things for mood and anxiety and blah, blah, blah.
And she's getting things for her dying husband as well.
So she comes in with all these prescriptions, and the pharmacy tech keeps like commenting like, "Wow, you must really be blah, blah, blah," like just all up in her business.
Which is a young Pat Healy, who appears in the Greenberry Hills segment in the opening of the film too.
And Julianne Moore goes off. Like, who are you to ask? You don't know me. You're like, you guys are just mocking me because I have all these prescriptions. I need these. And I thought that was like well acted, but then everything else just felt so like her crying to the lawyer about not wanting the money. And then she's like, "Well, if I don't get it, who gets it?" Well, Tom Cruise would get it. Well, I can't have that. And then the next thing we see is her trying to kill herself. So it's like, okay, well,
you dummy.
But yeah, I think everyone had, another theme I was going to mention is like isolation.
Well,
because it's interesting that all these characters, they have some proximity to each other.
Well,
and
it's
yet they
very
still,
LA.
which does feel very LA. Well, I mean, I guess any big city maybe, but I mean, particularly LA, like, because that's where I live. And then that's where it's set. I did sort of connect to that idea of.
Well, and it's funny that all of those things would have been completely lost on me as a kid who'd never been to LA. But a movie set in LA, kind of like Cassavetes' Love Streams, which is its most important moments happen with something raining, whether it be water or frogs from the sky. And LA is a place where it rarely rains.
Yeah,
And
that was interesting.
We get weather forecasts too that I think are ironic, because after living here for a while, that's one of something I get lazy about, is actually ever checking the weather because it's always kind of the same. So all of that I find very intriguing.
And I think, what if this film were made today, like how social media would probably have a very prominent role, especially in this idea of feeling like isolated or struggling to connect.
Well, the isolation, I think, is compounded because it would seem that we're connected, but in fact, it makes us more distant from
Well, and then you
another.
have the Tom Cruise character who's like actively telling men, like, I mean, he's teaching them to do the opposite of connecting. It's just like you're using these, like, trickery to get vaginas to penetrate. Like that's literally his like mission statement. So,
which I think, but depending on what year, like say if this had been remade or reworked, he would go through a lot of different modifications, because there are periods where I think that he would have been seen as so problematic we couldn't include him. But if this film was being made right now, like I don't
know. There are people on social media who are extremely popular, and they're men who are basically teaching men how to be masculine. Or even
look all over Twitter.
We reviewed, The Surfer. What's
Julian McMahon?
Julian McMahon's character,
who just died,
is basically a guru, like Tom Cruise, kind of. Well, no, actually he is, because he's also very popular. Like in this movie, his character's a very popular guru who teaches men how to be men.
Yes.
Like, it's all about masculinity, exuding strength, being domineering over women. So yeah, that's interesting actually, because I think in reality in 2025, there are like influencers who that's their brand.
Yes. And then because I think people are rebelling against being told how to act appropriately, or don't want to do the right thing, against wokeness, I think that there is a very strong movement that would embrace somebody like Frank T.J. Mackey right now.
So there's some obvious like tried and true themes in here that are, I still connected to a lot in the movie. We didn't mention, or did you mention the older gay man in the bar?
Henry Gibson.
Yeah. I thought that felt a little extraneous. Like,
well, it felt like something written by a straight man also.
And I was trying to assign meaning to it. We were talking earlier, like this idea that everyone's looking for the same thing. Like, and I often say this at moments where it's probably not the best, but I'll say things like, you're not special. Like everyone feels these things. So the fact that like a person makes whatever they're feeling like this big deal, and that's what makes life hard, I think, is disconnecting from this idea that like I'm actually not that important, and what I'm feeling is not that unique, and if other people can deal with it, I should be able to. And
right,
that's kind of how I saw William H. Macy's character. Like, you've let this thing that happened to you 30 years ago define you.
Well, and I think that's such a great character trait that he has the same song playing all the time in his car. Was it by Gabriella? Is that the
Dreams?
That's the reason. The reason I bought this soundtrack was
and then Amy Mann has a bunch of songs on it.
I think Amy Mann's so good. We were at a press screening at the Crescent Theater, and they were playing Amy Mann's "One Is the Loneliest Number" beforehand. And you were saying something. I was like, oh my God, you have to watch Magnolia. That maybe that song would take on a different.
It didn't.
Oh, I think it's so good the way she sings it.
What would you give Magnolia?
We haven't talked. There's a ton of cameos. Patton Oswalt, Thomas Jane. We talked about Cleo King, Orlando Jones, Clark Gregg, Robert Downey Sr. Also, I think with an Altman connection with Robert Downey Jr. This is why I'm not rating anything on Letterboxd that I haven't seen since I started keeping track of what I watched. So anything I watched as a kid, anything prior to 2008 that I never started actively thinking about, because in my mind this would be a 4.5, and after rewatching it, it's a 3.5 for me.
I would also give it 3.5 out of 5. I do think it's quite the accomplishment. There are some really strong performances. Even though I hate watching long movies, it wasn't. I mean, I got through it.
It's not arduous at all, and I think it is. We didn't even talk about kind of how you had to edit something like this, and I think it is expertly edited, kind of almost even frantically, because we are constantly churning between these people to a point where I never, even when some of them were less interesting, I was never bored.
Well, and I'm so grateful that it's sort of told in a sort of linear fashion. Like, even though we're bouncing back from characters, it's like everything's moving forward.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very well edited, but these long ass movies with all these characters, and then this one takes the approach of like all that randomness in the beginning, and then we start to meet these characters and we keep bouncing back and forth, and it's like, oh my God, I like so much brain power just trying to keep track of everyone's stuff. Is not that's not how I would tell a story. But
if you had already seen Magnolia, I probably would have done a P.T. Anderson pick that's like Punch Drunk Love right now, which you did right after this, which I think you'd respond to. I think you'd be much more. You'd feel more warmly towards Punch Drunk Love.
Why do you think that?
Because it's got a really good Adam Sandler performance, and Emily Watson's lovely.
Who the hell's Emily Watson?
What do you mean, who the hell is Emily Watson?
Where do I know her from?
I know you saw that Chernobyl series for sure.
Oh, I mean, I did. I know I watched Chernobyl.
Oh, I made you watch Breaking the Waves.
Breaking the
Where she marries Stellan Skarsgård, and she's kind of a simple woman. And
that was a sad movie.
Yeah, it's depressing as hell. You've seen Red Dragon. She's Reba.
Red Dragon.
Oh my God, Joseph. With Ray Fiennes. Hannah.
Oh, where he has that back tattoo.
And she's the blind woman.
She's blind in that movie. Oh,
yes.
Well, I don't know her, but I remember a blind lady.
Joan Allen played her in Mindhunter, the blind woman. Manhunter. Anyway, I think you like Punch Drunk Love, which also makes me recall that P.T. Anderson's Altman Love, he recycles olive oil's theme from Popeye, Robert Altman's Popeye. And Punch Drunk Love is only an hour and a half. So,
see, PTA, you don't have to put us through all these changes. You could just.
He was giving carte blanche to do what he wanted, and I think
I did it.
I think he's a talented person. He's also the person that Fiona Apple says, like, there was some coke-fueled night with Tarantino, P.T. Anderson, and Fiona Apple, and she's like, I decided I'd never do coke again after hanging out with them.
Oh my God. Well, after watching this movie and thinking about P.T. Anderson with Paul Thomas Anderson with Quentin Tarantino.
Well, both coming up in the 90s as these, saviors of cinema, like that people actually worship. But I do really like P.T. Anderson. I do.
Did you already say what your favorite film of his is?
Well,
because you said originally it was this one, but now it's not.
No, I think my tastes have changed significantly. I would say, well, maybe not so much, but I would say, a tie between his Daniel Day-Lewis features, There Will Be Blood, again, though, haven't seen it since 2007, and Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread, I think you would dig as well.
I'm watching a Star Wars movie.
It's not a Star Wars movie. It's not. It's a wonderful Vicky Creeps. Love it.
Okay, so we're done with Magnolia. That felt like 3 hours. And next week, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and we'll have a review for Eddington, the new Ari Aster.
Had this been my week to choose a movie, I would have chosen I Know What You Did Last Summer to prepare for the new one, because I don't remember a thing.
Oh, but that might be your choice for next week.
But I'd have to watch it before we see the new one.
That's fine, because we can record that segment.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also seeing Jackie Beat live.
That's true.
At the Catalina Jazz Club.
Second time seeing Jackie. I'm waiting for an email from her, though.
If anyone's attending, feel free to approach, preferably with a gift. Or you can send a bottle to the table. I don't know.
There are a couple screens.
Just kidding. You can say hi.
There are a couple smaller releases I was waiting for your response on about covering.
Oh, well, good luck with that. And Are you reading anything?
I plan on finishing the Thornbirds this week because I'm down to the last 200 pages.
You know, I'm sorry that in a corporate setting, I hate when, you know, like you have weekly check-ins
and you're still working on the same thing,
and then you're like having to constantly say like, oh yeah, I'm still working on
that.
this, no updates. So that I feel like that's what I'm doing to you with this book, which is not my intention because I don't like when people do that to me.
Well, and then we'll probably I do want you to watch that with me, and we'll do a free Patreon, I think, for that.
Oh, that'll be your choice for that month,
which is next month, which is what, August? Yeah, and we can spread that out because it's
because we have to watch your July choice.
We do
soon.
Yes.
So there will be another free Patreon coming probably this week.
Yes.
If you choose to donate it.
I do, of course. Yeah, why not?
I hate to force you to do things you don't want to do.
I know you do, but here we are. No.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
We're choosing violence at the end.
Wow.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Nope.
Ta-ta.
Paradise is back.
It's finally here.
In a new location, Costa Rica. There will be adventure, drama, and romance.
All gas, no brakes. That's my vibe.
Ready to find some love. But it wouldn't be paradise without surprises along the way.
These kids need to learn.
That's right. Your favorite Golden alums are crashing the beach.
We bring in a party, baby.
Bachelor in Paradise. New Mondays at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.